Welcome back to Teal Mask, mandatory battles only. Second versus same as the first. Ogrepon's pretty free because it's only level 20. The only thing that's changed on our team is that Untalk Goose now is the special moveset is holding leftovers again. I'm just gonna yap a little bit about the game design of Teal Mask and Ogrepon. Both of the first DLCs for Gen 8 and 9 seem to have two main goals. Ogrepon being level 20, I think, ties into this and also makes this battle completely free for us. She doesn't even give any good XP, so we can just kind of, go in and win. So, anywho, here's the rub. Both DLCs, first of all, you can treat them as their own separate, smaller game if you want. Like, if you want to build a team, go for the DLC, take the legendary from it, and go back to Bandland with it, and use it on your team without it being over doubled, you can. I believe this is also, you can raise a team in Kitakami for the Kitakami storyline, then ditch them and put Ogrepon on your Paldea team. I think that's really interesting game design that the game does on purpose. I think this is why Ogrepon's such a low level if you do it before post-game. The other reason is that, it's a much simpler reason for Ogrepon to be low level, is that, Ogrepon, will not obey you if you caught at level 21 with no gym badges. So they made it the highest possible level they could while still obeying you regardless of how many badges you had. And I think that's really clever. But it does make the battle against Ogrepon before post game kind of free, so we don't get crit to held him back. Or if we don't miss the range after it gets off too many growths. If either of those things happen, we're actually in pretty big trouble, but they're pretty unlikely. Not impossible though. They have happened before. That kill? Yeah. As I said, pretty unlikely, not impossible, but we're good for now. That's honestly the most dangerous phase then because that phase boosts attack. It's going into water next, which means we're going to bring in Porky. Anywho. I do like treating the, first DLCs of each game, as their own smaller games. Although they're also, in my opinion, designed to boost replayability. Because they boost replayability by giving you a much larger Pokemon variety in the early game, allowing you to build new teams to go through your journey with, which I think is really smart game design, because having more options and new options to use in future playthroughs is a major boost to replayability. Makes it a new, unique experience. This is generally really smart game design. You can treat them as their own smaller games. You just want to do a little bit of Pokemon. You can treat them as a way to boost replayability by adding more variety to the early game and the late game, depending on what you want to use. And you can treat them as a means of just kind of world building too. It's all generally really smart game design. I don't really care that much if Porky goes down because Ogrepon gives so little XP. Min-maxing her for XP doesn't really matter. I didn't even bother getting a grass sandwich, to be honest. I am going to attempt to keep Porky alive, though, given the option, just because why not? Because there is still that one battle with Carmine after this. I don't have a ton else to say here, really. It's just kind of free, especially once we get the Cornerstone Mask gun. We can just kill it with Flamethrower and win from our... I'm shocked that Ogrepon outspeeds us at such a low level. Then again, only Porky is fully evolved and he's not trained for speed. Anywho. So yeah, and I think that's all just really interesting game design-wise. Smaller, self-contained journeys that you can take the legendary Pokemon from into your main journey. The legendaries in both are low if you acquire them before post-game to facilitate this. Better early game Pokemon variety to boost replayability, and being post-game storyline if you do it in post-game. Generally really smart multi-purpose game design in the DLCs. I feel like there's a better way to articulate this without just stumbling over and repeating myself over and over again, but I really just don't have a good way to do so right now, unfortunately. Maybe I should actually make a scripted video on this shit. But yeah, that's kind of my basic thoughts on why Ogrepon's level 20 and it's generally really smart game design. Well played, Game Freak. Unfortunately, this also, again, makes the battle completely fucking free. the only battle left after this is Carmine. And once we beat Carmine, we're just kind of done. Like, that's it. And I'm going to make a bigger video on this that's actually properly edited, even though all my B-roll is going to be filmed on hand on an iPhone 8. So it's all going to look like complete ass. And Carmine might take a little bit of theory crafting to solve. But yeah, we're basically in. Like, especially since we resist grass, there's not much it can do to R, especially since we're holding outdoors and have protect and can will-o-wisp it. It can growth itself a lot, but it's like, you know? Like, that's how much Ivy Cudgel does to R. And then we left over some of that off. Yeah, Ogrepon is very free in a mandatory battles only. The only problem is that, like, Ogrepon will at least obey us, but it's not going to be very useful in the final Carmine battle. Luckily, since Carmine is the final fight, we can take sacks, like we did in the Kieran fight, without any penalty. Like, at least in the Kieran fight, taking sacks would makes the Carmine battle slightly harder due to no XP, but we don't need to worry about the Carmine battle, because for this challenge run, that's the last one. R didn't quite get enough XP to evolve, no one did. Well, aside from Porky. I think I'm going to use a Nespel, because we're getting a very low level one. So yeah, we're going to get Ogrepon. It's always Lonely Nature, by the way, that's scripted, which is very sad. But I do love the little narrative in that. Well played game for again, like the DLCs are, if you look at it from the perspective of like serving a multi-purpose of boosting replayability with Pokemon variety, allowing you to have a self-contained storyline you can build a new team for in the area, and then add the legendary to your mainland team without it over doubled. I guess in Urchfoo's case, you level it on the mainland and then go back to finish it off and level it up if you wanted to do it that way. And almost basically being smaller self-contained Pokemon games and post-game content all in one. It's genuinely really fucking smart game design. Like, dead ass. I'm going to show off my team. We're going to go battle Carmine, and then we're going to be done. I'm going to Theorycraft Carmine. Jesus, I can't wait to make the fucking video on this. This is so fucking cool. I can't believe I actually pulled this off. Kieran had me stumped for like a week, 2 weeks, a hot minute to say the least. I love the yapping. I do love the yapping. I love this game story. Gen 9 has one of the best stories in Pokemon. But, you know, when I'm on like my 15 billionth playthrough, I kind of don't fucking care. Because, like, I love the story, but I've seen it a dozen times in like the last 2 years. So it's like, who fucking cares, man? I'm not here for the plot, I'm here to min-max, so... There's the Ogrepon. As you can see, our team's in order. Exactly 10k XP. Interesting. No luck, unfortunately. Yeah, pretty solid Pokemon, all things considered. I don't have much else to say about it, aside from Ogrepon can tell the enemy to eat ass. So that's going to be fun when we battle Carmine with a wildly underleveled legendary Pokemon. So, yeah, see y'all in the final video before I make the big properly edited one. Have a great day, everyone.